Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Sutherland Kingdompreneur. My name is Daquan.
I'm Kiera.
And today we'll be talking about 3 topics. And so for our first topic, we were talking about dating. And so I'm just go ahead and jump into the dating process, right? So me and Kiera, we started dating. And just to let y'all know, she was really shy.
So
I couldn't get nothing out of her. Our first date. She was just quiet the whole time. So you can imagine how the conversation was, right? It was fire. It really was.
You tried to make it seem like I was shy.
It was you. It was her, y'all. It was her, y'all. No. But we ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. But so let me be on a more serious note. So dating is very important. Dating lets you. It gives you insight if that person is somebody that you know long term that you want to be with, that's somebody you want to marry. And so during that dating phase, I found qualities in her that I was looking for a wife, somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And I also found qualities I didn't like, right? Because you can see the good and you're gonna see some of the bad, right? And so that's why dating is so important. Dating, go ahead and it pretty much lets you know what are you getting yourself into before you actually get married. And so we started dating, and pretty much one thing really led to another. And we used to, what was very important in the beginning of our dating was communicating. And so we started communicating a lot. We started talking about, things, everybody talk about when they're dating, goals, dreams, and things they want when you do in your adulthood. So we started talking about those things, and we try to start living some of these things out, but we had a detour in the road. We had our first child. She got pregnant right after, I think, a couple of months out of high school, and, it's pretty much altered our plans. And pretty much we had to make decisions based off what happened. And so it was a struggle. It really was a struggle being teen parents, not really knowing what it meant to be a parent at the time. Because I didn't know, and I don't think she really knew what it meant to be a parent at that particular time. It was kind of hard for both of us to grab the concept. Hey, look, we about to be responsible for a whole human being, right? Pretty much raising he or she up, right? And so it was very challenging, and she probably gonna elaborate a little bit on some of the things she had to deal with as a teen parent, and that if there's any teen parents that's watching, she's just gonna elaborate a little bit, encourage you that it can be done, and just hear a story.
So we became parents at the age of 18. We were a few months out of high school, 3 months, and it was a big adjustment. We had to, figure out how to become parents, and we had to grow up like super fast. Although I grew up way quicker than he did.
What she did.
I was a whole mom, y'all. I had to learn how to be an adult. I had to adjust to waking up every 1 or 2 hours a night to a crying baby. I had to accept the fact that I couldn't go off to college, far away off to college with a newborn baby at home. And I also had to start working. I couldn't be spoiled anymore. I had to start working and pay my own bills. And we had to adjust to being teen parents because in the beginning, we weren't living together. We were in 2 different households. So I was playing the mom role pretty much 24/7. When he wasn't there or he was at work, and there I was with the baby. And my mom was a big help during that time. She was a very big help. But we went through a lot as teen parents. We went through a lot of hurt.
We did.
A lot of hurt, y'all. We was out here wilding at one point in time on
Yes,
each
we
other.
Yes, we were. We was turning up on we was turning up on each other.
Yeah.
As you know, as they say now and nowadays, right? So we were turning up on each other. But it, you know, even like I said, even staying together, we finally moved in together. It was still challenging. The reason why I say that is because I was a prideful guy. I was really ego driven. I had like this macho ego, and my way was the right way. And you know, and I was very strong minded, and she was the same way. Which I was quickly to find out.
Yeah, like
yeah, I had to find out.
Really
I found out quickly. We really was like the same person, right? And so we bumped heads a lot, man. We pretty much bumped heads a lot in our first couple months staying together until I was like, you know what, maybe she is right. Maybe her opinions are, you know, I would consider them, right? Because we as guys like to think that our wives don't really have a say-so in things, right? And I was the guy like, hey, I'm the man. I call the shots. Hey, it's my way, or, you know, hey, the highway, right? And so that's what we live by, right? We got like, you know, but sometimes we actually, you know, us as fellas, we got to acknowledge when women are right. And 90 something. I'm just saying 90 something percent. 90 something percent. I'm just gonna give it that they are right. They are right about some of the decisions that they make, and sometimes they can be wrong. That's when we step in. You know, even we get that 1%, like, yeah, I told you so. So we get that little 1% leeway. We'll take it now. We'll take it. So I just wanted to share that with the fellas, y'all. The fellas don't always shoo their opinions away, because they're here. Women are women, either your girlfriend, your spouse, your significant other. They're there to build you, right? They're there to build you up and they pretty much support you. They are your biggest support. And so that's what they're there for. They're there to give you that advice. They're there to, share their opinions and give you a different perspective. And so when we was, I want to say, leading up to us getting married, it was a lot of things that we didn't really settle, and that's, I believe, one of our biggest downfalls in our marriage. Our biggest downfalls, a lot of things leading up from our dating phase, pretty much our adulthood, coming into adulthood, that we didn't settle a lot of things. It's a lot of things that we carried into our marriage. So what I advise is, and she probably advised too, that get counseling, y'all. Get counseling. It's very important. When you're thinking about getting married, get counseling, because what it'll do is it will put you in a position where you can think like, are you really ready to take this step? Because I didn't know what the seriousness or the responsibility that came with marriage, right? Like I said, I thought that marriage was like a fairy tale, really, right? You just get married and you have the big house and you have the Brady Bunch family, but it's more in depth, and marriage is hard work. It is really hard work, and it took me a while, and it really took me a while to see that it's hard work. It's something that we had to work on every day. I mean, every day, and not just once a year, because that's a successful marriage works on that marriage every day. And so I advise you to get counseling, and also leave all the baggage, right? Leave all the baggage, all the things, leave that you was about to bring into your marriage. There's a lot of things that people take into their marriage, or pretty much unforgiveness. That's one thing that they take into their marriage, unforgiveness. A lot of us got a lot of pains built up in us, and we need to vent. And some of those things you need to get out your system before you take it to the marriage, because what we done was these things that we was carrying into our marriage, we didn't do nothing but bury them. Yeah. It was buried, and so the only thing it did was later on in our marriage, it just erupted. It started to really show. It started showing our character, how we feel toward each other, and and then we started to say some hurtful things, right? Hurtful things, but things were bottled up.
Marriage will expose what you did not heal when you were single.
Yeah, so it's very important to not carry baggage into your marriage, right? Leave all that behind and start fresh. You start fresh. When you join as one, it's a new thing. It's a new covenant that you're making. It's a God ordained covenant, and so you're supposed to bring things that you have done in the world into your marriage. It's supposed to be a new life for you, a new life with your partner. And like I said, y'all are now one. And it's no more our decisions. It's a we decision. It's a us decision. And so, like I said, I'm talking to the fellas here. Let your wife have a say so, because her say so is important. And she's a part. She is one with you. She is one with you. So she's a part of you. She's a part of you in the decision that you make, and your success, and your overall success. And so. Like I said, I believe here. I want to elaborate a little bit on some of the complications and things that we went through during our, leading up to us getting married, and also some of the things that we took into. I took into marriage, and I'm gonna let her start off on that, and then I'll just come behind her, cause y'all ain't want to miss what I gotta say, but they gonna love what I gotta say. They gonna love it, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right.
So we took a lot of issues from our relationship, and he mentioned unforgiveness. Like I said, there was a lot of hurt that was in our relationship that we carried over to marriage, and even hurt from our relationship where we were hurting each other, and then I got hurt in the relationship, and even though we thought we healed it, it was not completely healed. We just buried it. We scratched the surface and buried it. And, we thought, well, it's over with. It's done. We're fine. And then we get married, and boom, there it is again. So a lot of things we had ups and downs in the relationship, but when we got married, it's like, one thing came, we got over that, then another thing came. Like, we never had time to get ourselves dust off from the last thing that happened. So it was a lot. We have struggled. We have been at the bottom, y'all. We have struggled even financially. We have dealt with a lot of stuff, and we have learned too, like, to stick together, to not fight each other, but stick together. Because when you get married, you form a covenant with God. When you're in a relationship, it seems easier because we already sinning. So, the enemy, he don't care that because we already sinning. But when we get married, we have a covenant formed with God that the enemy hates. So
that's so true.
When everything going hectic, just remember that. And another thing, we were not equally yoked when we got married.
We wasn't. And
I wanted to address that part, because a lot of people say if you get married and you're unequally yoked, then it's not meant to be, which is completely not true for every situation. There are some relationships that are God ordained, and we know ours was God ordained, but we were not equally yoked when we got married. We both had turned away at a point from the Lord. I was the first one to turn back to the Lord in my marriage. My husband came later on. He came real later on, y'all. But it was hard. It's really hard when you're not equally yoked in the marriage. It is. Prayer, y'all. A lot of praying got me through. So, I'm saying this because I know there are a lot of other marriages that have gone through this and are going through this, and especially a lot of young marriages also. Prayer got me prayer got me through it. Just seeking God for everything and keeping the faith. And also, even at times when it was like completely hard to be a good wife.
It was.
It was hard being a good wife when your husband or your wife in certain situations is just going completely crazy. You have to stand on God's promises and stand in faith on his promises. Keep praying, keep talking, stay in worship. Just stand on his promises because they really do. They come through. And when they come through, it's 100 times better than what you even prayed for. I go back in my journal and I see even the things I wrote when we were in a relationship, even in our marriage, and I would question God, like, where, during the hard times, where are you? Why are you not answering my prayers? Like, I'm doing everything right. Like, I'm trying to live right. Where are you? Why are you not answering my prayers? And there are prayers I've seen years later, even now, you guys, manifest. And it is very overwhelming, but in a good way. And it's very exciting. And God came through and done completely what I did not expect, y'all. So that's my outtake on marrying young. It has been full of highs and lows. Sometimes it was nothing but lows. And it was plenty of times I was ready to say, I'm out. Like, I didn't sign up for this, I'm out. And there were plenty of times where it were a lot of highs. And our good did outweigh our bad in our relationship and in our marriage. And we know if we could get through a lot of stuff we've been through,
get through anything.
You can get through.
Yes.
You can get through it too.
You can get through anything. You can get through anything. It's just remarkable. Just remarkable. If y'all just would have known us personally, if you do know us personally, then you know our journey. Most of you do. Most of you see us from the outside, and like we said in the previous video, you think everything's good, but it's not. It's a lot of work that we were putting in. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work too. It took a lot of work for us to be here. It took a lot of work to be right here speaking to you. It takes a lot of maturity, and it also takes a lot of discipline. Right? And it's just nothing but God. I mean, he done it. When you look at stuff and you can't really explain it, he does things like this. Only he can get the glory. Only he can get the glory for what happened in our marriage, what happened, how it's here, how it's been restored. Yeah. Only he can get the glory. No man can take credit for what he's done. And we honor that. And you might hear us say it all the time. Only God gets the glory because he's the only one, and that done this for us. And even through hard times, we had a lot of hard times, and it was a lot of me. Yeah. It was a lot of me. It was a lot of me. It was a lot of me. And I just want to say one thing is that, when you unevenly yoked, right? What we like to tend to do is we like to pressure the other individual to get themselves together. And it was a time that she was pressuring me. She was pressuring me to get myself together. Like, hey, you need to get yourself right. This and that. But I mean, even in her pressuring, it was like when she pressured, I resisted, and I had to come about my own way. So you cannot really put your process on somebody else. The process that you went through is unique. And so that other person had to go through their own process. And so just because it changed for you quickly, don't mean it might change for them quickly. And so I had to go through my own process, even though she was already there. And but the crazy thing is, she, like I said, she's a praying woman, she's a praying woman, a praying wife. And you want somebody on your fellas, listen, you want somebody like that in your corner. You want somebody like in your corner that pray for you, pray for you even when you're not praying, right? She's covering you Because when a woman actually prays for you, that just shows you how much she really loves you. If a woman is actually praying for you, that means she's care for you. She care for you. She care about your well-being, right? And so we like to always say, they don't love us. They don't love us the way they do. But I'm telling you, in order to put somebody in your prayers, you have to show some form of care and love. So just like when you pray for other people, it's out of love that you pray for other people, right? And so it showed me that she really loved me the way she says she loved me, and loved me more, and she loved me more. During that time, I really believe she really loved me more than I can ever really know, and I could comprehend. And like I said, even now, I'm sitting here because of answered prayers. I am sitting here because of answered prayers, and only He gets the glory. Only He gets the glory for this. And it's been some tough times. Some tough times we're gonna talk about. I don't know if she want to dive into it up here, this particular video, but it's some stuff that I've done. I mean, some stuff that I struggle with leading up into my marriage that impacted it big. And one of them I struggled with the addiction to pornography, and it was really big. And when she found out about it, it broke her heart. It really did broke her heart. And that was one of the hurts that she had to deal with. One of the hurts she had to deal with. One of the hurts that I'm looking at this stuff. I'm looking at this stuff on a computer or whatever on my cell phone. And she got to feel like, is she good enough? Is she good enough? Here I am. Here she is right here in the flesh, but I'm more studying someone on the phone. I'm more looking for somebody else on the phone, right? And so now that I look back, I really saw how selfish I was. I mean, I was a selfish individual. I really was. I'm saying this, and I'm being honest, but I was real selfish and arrogant, if I want to say, and ignorant to a lot of things. I really was. I was really selfish, and not so much. I was only worried mostly about myself, not how it impacted her, not how it impacted my kids. At that particular time, I wasn't. I was just focused on me. And it's not a good thing to do. So it's not a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to focus on yourself, being so self-centered, being so self-righteous, only focus on yourself. Because what you're doing is you push other people away when you be like that. You push people away. And I was pushing my family away, and I didn't even know it. I was pushing my kids away. I didn't even know it. I was pushing her away when she was just trying to love on me. I was just pushing her away. Why? I was so focused on me. Porn, it was all about porn. It was all about me. So, anything you want to add to that? You feel like you want to add to that? Or did I tell the truth on that one?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much told it all. But I didn't, like you said, when the addiction to pornography, that was something that he struggled with. Even in his teenage years, and we thought, there was another issue that was buried. So when it was revealed later on in marriage that that was something that he still struggled with, it was heartbreaking, because when we're teenagers, we think that kind of stuff is cool, and we know it's wrong, but it's cool because that's how society has it. It's nothing wrong with that kind of stuff. But when you're in a marriage and you've grown up, it's heartbreaking. It does make you question, as a wife, like, why, what is it? And it makes you begin to feel insecure with yourself. There was one of the most heartbreaking things, discovering his addiction to pornography, because he didn't even think it, in the beginning, like, he didn't need any help. It was something he could get over himself. And he didn't realize what would trigger it either. Like, he was just making it seem like, you're crazy. Like, it's not nothing serious. I got it. But I knew it was something serious. And I have met so many wives, you guys, that have struggled, even husbands that have struggled with their spouses in this area, as well, even in other areas. And I never knew how big an addiction to pornography was and how it has affected so many marriages and women. Like, it was just very shocking for me. And even though that was something that he was dealing with, I walked through it. And at that point, God did allow me to walk through it, because guess what? Now there are other wives that message me and talk to me, and I even get a lot of messages from you ladies on YouTube, single, fiancés, wives. I've been getting a lot of messages, and at first I was afraid to open up and tell our story. Like, we've been through stuff people, you know, go through all the time, so why we gonna get up here and tell our story? This is what I'm asking the Lord, like, why are we gonna do this for? But it pushes me to get up here and talk even more. Just seeing your messages, like, it's a big push. And I'm grateful that you also, you know, trust me and are transparent with me, because y'all, I was super scared to get up here and do this, but it's honestly a big push, and it's very inspiring. Again, that was one of the few things we went through. That betrayal hurt. That caused a lot of pain. That's also, that's a long story, y'all. It's a long story.
It's a long story that we will share with you throughout this video series that we will share with you piece by piece. We don't want to tell the whole thing, y'all. We want to tell the whole thing. You know, we want to make it interesting, the suspense. But I would say that we've been through a lot. And I would say people look at our age and say, there's no way, you know, no way that you've been through. But I've been through a lot, and she has been through a lot in our 27 years of living. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was actually just talking with, I was talking to one of my good friends, and I was just telling him about what, you know, what he was talking to me about, what he went through and what I've been through. And he's like, man, you know, being that you're so young, I would have never thought that you would have went through all these things. You know, he was like, you know, most people that been together for or have aged like in their 30s and 40s or in the 50s have been through what you've been through. And I was just telling him, I was like, yeah, man, you know, a lot of people look at our age and just say, hey, you know, y'all them guys young, what do they know? But they don't know. They don't know. They don't know our story. They don't know. Y'all don't know. I mean, y'all don't know. I'm serious. And so, you know, I believe we're gonna go ahead and end it there. It's good to end it here. Or you got some more you want to talk about? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end it here, and we're gonna probably our next video. What you want to talk about next video? Or we probably post the next video. We'll talk about parenting. Actually parenting, our next video, and I believe that's gonna be it's gonna be a good topic. It's a lot of people
teen parenting and parenting now.
To now. So we're gonna talk about a little bit about teen parenting and parenting now. It's very important, y'all. Listen, it's very important to understand parenting, right? And especially for men, right? Because they, you know, people always like to say, you know, it's a stereotype, it's a stigma. That, you know, men are not in the family, men are not in their house. You know, it's a missing man. It's like a stigma, like it's a missing man, right? That's what the world and the society wants you to think, that, you know, especially black men, right? Black men are not in the family, not in their households, and so I want to go ahead. I want to break that stigma. I want to break that stigma, right? And let y'all know now that, you know, we are in the home. We are in the homes, right? We are here. And so we are with our families, and we are trying to build them, right? It's not, you know, they take a couple of bad situations and turn them into something like that. But like I say, we're going to talk about parenting, and, you know,